The first day is built upon the previous week, which is before class starts. That sets the tone for the first day to make the first day easier, because a lot of students are completely apprehensive about coming to that first day because they don't know me at all. And so I send out a letter to all my students, and in that letter I get them acquainted with me. I tell them who I am and what I've done and where I've taught and how long I've taught. One of the things I do in that letter, which I think is unbelievably important, is I will ask them, if you go by a different personal pronoun, if you go by a different name, and I can't even count how many kids I've had here at OTC who are trans kids, for example. So when they do get there, I call them by the name that they prefer right off the bat, and that completely sets them at ease. And because I do that from the first second, everybody else in the group calls them that name too, and there's no fumbling, there's no difficulty. It's just that's just the way it is. On the first class, I break the ice with a little humor. I'll say, you all have a question I know you're dying to ask me, and you're too embarrassed to ask. So I'm going to read your mind and blow your mind and tell you the answer that you seek is 6'8", which then they all bust out laughing. Everybody lets a big sigh of relief out, and we can now proceed to do what I think is the most important thing of the entire semester in the first class. I'm going to ask my students a lot this semester. I'm going to ask them to do stuff they're not comfortable doing. And when somebody pushes you and you don't like that person, you push back. And so that's what I'm trying to get done the first day. Is I'm trying to get these kids to know me, like me, and trust me. We need to get acquainted. And you don't know me, I don't know you, and you don't know each other. And that's 3 big problems. And so I asked them in that previous week's letter to think of a couple of things about themselves that are kind of over the top, but one of them is not true. And I always tell them, when I was born at Cox North Hospital, just down the street, I weighed 14 pounds at birth. And they're like, I don't know if that's true or not. And then I tell them that my sister is 6'3", and they're like, God, I don't know if that's true or not. And then they kind of take a vote, and the ones who win, so I have like a little prize bucket, and you can get a piece of candy, you can get a sticker, you can get a fake tattoo that rubs off in the shower. And this process is called validation. And if you can get validated as a human being, I have you right where I need you. And then we turn the tables, and then I go through my roll call, and I have a seating chart that they don't see. I just called the first name, Aaron Adams. And then Aaron tells me his 2 things. I will kind of joke with him and bond with him for the rest of the semester, because if Aaron tells me he has 17 cats, I will ask him about his cats a month from now. That warms him to realize that I care about him. And the other thing is they connect to each other. I can easily tell when they've bonded as a group. And until I get that bonding process down on day 1, nothing else matters. If I can get that done on day 1, I can do the rest of my sleep. Because the rest of my sleep is what most people think this job is, which is I'm going to come in and present information. And that's one finger on the hand of what you need to do is present information. And if you just stand up there and present information, they don't care. They might as well read through Google, and they need to feel part of something. Kevin Kloppenburg. I teach art here at OTC. I teach a class called Art and Experiences 100. It's like an introductory class, and I teach Drawing 1. I've used my dog as bribery more than anything. I'm like, well, if everybody gets 100% on this project, I might bring my Labrador in.